Welcome to Beasnael. We are not the same. Wow, what an amazing week we've had. We continue to stay hopeful and faithful without losing track of who we are and what we stand for. This week, we'd like to remember an athlete, a legend whom we've lost far too soon, with his beautiful daughter, Gianna Bryant. Kobe Bryant, you remain in our hearts. You truly, truly are Mamba. Our condolences go to your beautiful family. And to the rest of us who are still grieving your loss, we do want to encourage each and every one of you by letting you know that in the middle of every difficulty lies an opportunity. Stay strong. Well, choir directors continue to be cool. Another one on this rock, proving that we are not the same. Jason McGee.
Family, you have the elders sitting on the floor, you have brothers and sisters, you have the whole village basically sitting and listening. And that's the feeling, the image that I got when I saw that shot. I don't know. Yeah, it took me to that level. But you know, I heard you say, a friend of yours said that you were an angel. I believe you're more than one angel. I think you've been given to us as a protector, an inspirational person, but also I think you're just a friend. You're a friend, you know? So I just, had a few more questions in terms of, who signed you, because you mentioned it, but I don't know that a lot of people know that you are actually a signed choir.
Yes, I am.
Well, let's talk about that. Tell us a little bit more.
So we got signed back in 2016 by My Block Inc. My Block Inc. is Mr. Warren Campbell. And for those that don't know who Warren Campbell is, if you don't know, if you do know his music, but you may not know you know his music. But if you don't, Warren Campbell is the force behind Mary Mary.
Yeah.
And he's actually the husband of one of the Marys, which is Erica Campbell, who's a huge gospel artist as well.
They're all Campbells.
You said what?
They're all Campbells.
They're all Campbells. They're all Campbells.
Hi, Erica. I love you both.
Oh, they're incredible, Pete. You know what it is? They're phenomenal producers, wonderful singers, definitely dope ministers. But at the end of the day, Warren and Erica are some of the kindest, nicest people you'll ever meet. And so they signed me about 4 years ago. Warren did not know what to do with a choir. He didn't know what he wanted to do.
Wow.
And he tells the story about not even ever wanting to sign a choir. It was never on his mind. And he saw me working with Psalms, my old church choir. Yeah. And he said, he's like, well, I saw you and I knew something was there. And then when he heard the choir, my new choir, when he heard them, he knew that it was time. And so he signed us in 2016. We did a live recording, and It's Not Over is one of the singles that have come from it.
Wow. Now, did you write the lyrics to It's Not Over?
I did not.
No, okay.
No, I did not.
Oh,
It's Not Over is very close to my heart because of what it says. It speaks to my testimony.
Yeah.
But Tammy Haddon and Gerald Haddon, who are the former, hey y'all, who are the former ministers of music at the City of Refuge.
Absolutely.
They wrote It's Not Over. And I remember when Tammy first gave it to me, actually Gerald gave it to me, and I heard Tammy singing it, and I thought, wow, what a really great song. Like, I really like this song. But I wasn't sure how the choir was going to take to it because it didn't really match what we were recording and what we had been learning. And so I taught it to them, and it was after they sang it out for the first time, I saw tears in their eyes. I saw people really connecting to the lyrics of the song. And so that's when we kind of knew, okay, this is definitely a keeper.
And I truly believe it's not over. I don't think
I do too.
In all sense of that, sentence, I think there's so much there. You make me actually think about, the choirs here and the choirs internationally are never the same. When you're in Europe, the choirs are different. But I think the platform that now everyone is using might be the American, How have you experienced the differences, between the choirs here and the choirs internationally?
The choirs here, I think, are more performance driven in America. I think because especially in Los Angeles, because there's always a camera somewhere. There's always some lighting somewhere. There's always someone that's needing you to turn on.
Yeah.
And so I think I think choirs in America are a little bit more performance driven. So we pay attention to a lot of external things.
Okay.
We pay attention to our presentation and certain things. I think choirs internationally, from what I've seen, pay a lot more attention to the depth of singing.
Okay.
They take it very seriously, and it's I feel like sometimes it's a little bit more deep than us. Right. I feel like it's a little more pure than us.
Right. No, that's a key word. Pure is a key word.
I think so.
Yeah, the level of faith and the level of, just you come as you are, because I always thought anybody could join a choir. But I found, no comment, okay? But I found out that, here, you better know how to sing before you can get into a choir. So yeah, I admire the choir members, and even more the ones that are able to cohesively sing and get out there. But how do you handle, just some of the dynamics? Yeah, most people don't talk about the behind the scenes stuff in a choir. You tell us all the cheese made, okay? We want to hear.
How do I handle the dynamics of a choir? You know what? Now that's actually a question that I get asked a lot because there's so many people. Yeah. And that was actually one of the first questions that Warren asked me. He said, how do you deal with that many personalities? And I always say, I must be schizophrenic, or something must be wrong with me to be able to deal with that, to be one guy with that many people. I think you have to be called to do it, honestly. It's a very special job that people think it happens on stage only, and it doesn't. To build a good choir, you have to build them internally first.
Right.
You have to build the foundation of a good choir in order to build the conglomerate and the performance aspect of them. You have to build ownership in the choir. They have to feel like they have a piece of it. They have to feel like their voice matters. They have to feel like someone's listening to them. They have to feel like someone cares about them beyond their vocal abilities. If they know you care, they will essentially do what you ask them to do, because what I've always told my choirs, this thing ain't about us. Right. This is not about us. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the sound that we make unto God and bless his people. Amen. That is the goal. Yeah. So if I can get you all on the same mind frame, if we think with the same mind, we will reach the same goal together. And I think we're going to be okay. And I've told my choirs before, look, there are a lot of you with a lot of opinions. Someone has to have the final opinion. Someone has to have the final word. Someone's word has to be, I have to have the vision for what this is. So that means, unfortunately, you're going to have to listen to me. All right. And if I'm wrong, I will ask for forgiveness, and I will ask your opinion at every step of the way if needed.
No, that's powerful. That's powerful. I think owning, having a sense of ownership. I always say, if you don't hold yourself accountable for everything that's happening, then how do you solve anything?
How do you solve it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I knew that my choir members, back to Psalms, I knew my choir members were committed when one of my choir members had major back problems, and the doctor told her that she wasn't supposed to be on stage. Whoa. Another one of my choir members, his kidneys failed, and he wasn't supposed to go to competition with us. Yeah. Another one of my choir members showed up and she had the flu and she wasn't supposed to be singing. Right. Another one of my choir members had gotten her tonsils out and came back to sing way too early. Another one of my choir members was singing at 9 months pregnant.
Wow.
And I remember the old minister of music, Rebecca McCullough, she said, they really love being here. She said, they will move heaven and earth to get here just to sing one Sunday a month. Wow. And I said, because they have a piece of it. A piece of it belongs to them.
That's right. When you own it.
It's ownership.
Yes.
They want to be here.
Wow. I love that. Love it. Now, Jason, how has the pandemic affected you?
It's been challenging. It's been challenging. 2020 was the year that I had to learn. I had to be ministered to with the words that I sing. Whoa. Wow. You put me into tears. I said I wouldn't cry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beasnael, we are not the same. Let me tell you, I have Jason McGee. And Jason, when you're singing, I cry. But what you just said, I'm going to do everything to go through this without crying. But yes, wow. So your words, you know, what you've been singing about have been ministering to you. But tell us more.
Yeah, it's, you know, as ministers, as musicians, as directors, as choir members, as whomever, we rehearse so hard for the people. We rehearsed so hard to get it right because we're going to have to perform it and we're going to have to put it in front of people. So what happens when the people are taken away?
Okay.
You have to now do that for yourself.
Absolutely.
And the words that we've written and the words that we've sang and the words that we've prepared and the performances that we prepare for so many, we have to now turn that around and now minister to ourselves because all that's taken away.
Wow.
So a lot of times it'll make you feel like, what is my worth? Because my worth has always been in presenting this thing to people.
Yes.
And so, you know, you take a minute and you're like, what is my worth when I don't have it? You know, and am I really good at this? Or am I real? Am I enough? You know, you start realizing that. And I was talking to Erica Campbell the other day, and that's what she said. Wow. She said she had to ask, am I enough? Do people care about me anymore?
Wow.
And it's challenging.
It is. I you know, what I've noticed with the pandemic is that, you know, everything that we've learned, you know, in church. I mean, I'm a pastor's child, but also an ex-diplomat's child. So all eyes are always on us, right? But it's about planting seeds. I think you've planted so many seeds. I'm one of, you know, the sprouts that you've had.
Thank you.
Now my kids, because they know who you are. And I think you're enough. It's not over.
Not over.
It's not over. And with, you know, today's society, with social activist events and so many things happening, I don't know, you know, what your thoughts are about some of the things that have been happening to young Black men. But also internationally, it's seen a little bit differently than when you're living here in the US. Yes. I mean, I would like to, you know, see how did you handle all of what happened during 2020?
If I may be honest, the beginning of the Black Lives Matter movement and the civil unrest that was going on gave me a ton of anxiety. Gave me a ton of anxiety, ton of fear,
right?
Ton of worry. You know, I've got 3 Black nephews.
Yes.
And you know, they're 19, 16, and 13. They're babies.
Yes.
You know, they're the ages of these boys who keep getting killed.
Yeah.
And I worry for them, and I'm a little nervous for them. You know, and also, admittedly, it made me start looking at a certain group of people a certain kind of way.
Wow. Yes.
And there were days, not that I ever forget that I'm a Christian, but there are days that I did not want to be a practicing Christian. I wanted to react.
Right.
I wanted to get angry. I wanted to swing. I wanted to be very human.
Right.
And that's when you have to remember that you serve God first.
That's right.
And you have to call on that. But there were days that it was really, really, really challenging, and it's caused some sleepless nights and some tears and some anger and all this range of emotions,
right?
You know, and then there were days I just had to shut down. I could not pick up my phone. I just had to turn on the TV, not the news,
right? And
I had to, you know, figure it out and find some place to release it. So that's what I had to do.
That's powerful. I appreciate your transparency, because I think a lot of people always say, well, Christians, you know, they're always in this, you know, kind of, you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do we get angry? Yes. Do we want to rip somebody's wig up? Yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
But
what makes us Christian is that we don't do it.
We don't. I don't go for it. That's
the great I am. He is the Lion of Judah. Sing Judah's Lion. Yes, he is the Son of Man. We're gonna call him the Great Defender. Sing the great.